As artists, there's something you've got that no one else has, and that's the uniqueness of who you are. We're going to talk about how to keep that secret weapon powered up. Plus, what is pop music? A new Netflix docuseries attempts to answer that question. Stick around. Hi, and welcome to Music Industry City's Monday Kickoff, where we offer up important tips for a successful career and get you motivated for the week ahead. I'm Peter Schwein, and joining me, as always, my co-hosts Aisha Damo and the Duke. If you you want to chime in about, join us in the chat. Welcome all our people tuning in from Twitch, YouTube, wherever you are. It's all good. We got a lot to talk about, so let's kick it right off with Aisha and the Duke. What's going on? How you doing, Aisha?
I am good. How are you?
I am really good. We're also doing a stream to Discord. So all our
Awesome.
family over in our Discord service.
Hello, Discord.
Hey, what's going on, Dave? How's your weekend?
Everything is good, man. Everything is blessed. I'm out here. Today's my daughter's birthday. So, just feel blessed that I get to celebrate that. Had some cake, had some ice cream. Everything is good.
Right on. Happy birthday. How old is she?
She's 3.
Oh, yeah, right on. So you
Happy
made it through the terrible
birthday.
twos.
Yeah, I mean, the terrible twos weren't so terrible. I mean, she just loves what she loves. Right now, she loves Michael Jackson. And, I listen to, Bad and all these Michael Jackson songs maybe, too many times, but it's cool. I'm
Uh-huh.
cool with it. It's all good.
Hey, listen to Michael Jackson. It's a good way to start off.
Yeah, I mean, it's better
She'll
than
graduate
maybe
to
some
Prince.
other. She doesn't like Prince. It's kind of strange. She started with Fine Young
Ooh.
Cannibals and made her way to Michael Jackson.
Well, yeah. All right. So she's going on the upward trajectory. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, I like Fine Young Cannibals. Come on.
Yeah, but Fine Young Cannibals, Michael Jackson. It's
Fair, fair.
yeah. MJ for the win. There we go. It's in our chat.
Definitely.
All right. Michael Jackson had a secret weapon in his arsenal of being an artist. He had many secret weapons. So, and he was unique. I mean, so I know that's a little bit on what you want to talk about, Aisha. So let's kick it over to you and find out what you want to talk about this week. I mean, the secret
Absolutely.
weapon. The secret weapon.
The secret weapon. Yeah. So, as artists, a lot of the time we're just trying to find a way to fit into the market, have our music heard, to create content that fits into the latest app. But when we focus on all that fitting in, sometimes we forget about the things that actually make us stand out. And that's what I want to talk about today. Whether you're new to the industry or you're a seasoned pro, and kind of especially if you're a seasoned pro who's been at this a while, who's butted heads with the industry or reps or the latest trend out there, we need to remind ourselves to go back to the source and to always learn even more deeply about ourselves and to boldly carry the uniqueness we have out into the world with our creative work, because that's what people really resonate with. Every time you jot some new lyrics down into a notebook or on a napkin, that's what I usually use, or, write a new riff that's like really, catching your ears, or plug in at the studio to get ready to record again. Each one of these things is a brand new opportunity to know yourself even more deeply, to discover something new about who you are as an artist and as a person. Now, a lot of the time, we stamp out our own creative instincts really far too soon because we want to fit into the mold. We want to fit into what's marketable. And we hear a lot about that. This is marketable right now. This is the new hip thing. But, we also need to stand out, and we can't always be a slave to what the commercial market wants from us. And when we do that, we miss the opportunity to dig into who we are and what actually drives us to make this music, to do this thing, to be this kind of artist, to present the way we present in our music videos. A lot of times, The thing we're stamping out is exactly that thing that our fans are really craving from us. Not just the flaws, yes, people like to see a little bit of flaw in there, but also just awkward, strange moments, the parts of us that seem out of place with everything else, the parts of us that are like, a little bit different from maybe the other things we're representing. And that difference makes us really special and unique. These are the things that we have that offer true value to the market, that offer true value to, the history of popular music. So, this industry, yeah, it's fickle. It's changing all the time. And the industry thinks it knows what the next generation wants. It thinks it knows what society is demanding, but usually it's kind of way off. That kind of thing is really being created in the moment, especially now when everything's moving so quickly on apps like TikTok and here on Twitch, all these places. This new zeitgeist is being created all the time. And so, there is no expectation. You can pursue these things that are just yourself and feel great about that. And in this time when we, have so much in our own hands as the creators, for better or worse, because we know that is a burden of labor, a burden of wearing many hats, we still do have advantages from that of being able to try new things that we fancy in the moment. And who cares if you put out a post on social media that like tanks? Who cares if it's a dud? Everything is an experiment. And this is how you get to know what your fans really want, what you really enjoy putting out there yourself. This is how you know yourself as an artist and as an artist in the context of the market. So starting this week, I hope that you'll give yourself a chance to do something new that you've never done before, whether it's with your sound or your performance or your visuals. Just take a chance this week. Take a chance on something and do that every week. Do something that you've never, ever tried before. And it might be a long shot, but it might really inspire something in you at the same time. The most valuable thing that you have to offer the people is you. That is your secret weapon. Your unique perspective and delivery of that perspective is your secret weapon. So, no passing trend can ever stop that. Nothing can get in the way of that. The field is entirely yours when it comes to that because your lane on the highway is your lane and no one can be driving in it. Your lane is all yours. You've got this. So go out there in the world and be bold, be brave, and just show them all what you got. And that's what I've got for this week.
Right on. Yeah, stay in your lane. It's my lane. Get out of my lane. Head out on the highway.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of times we do, feel like certain other artists are driving in our lane. I felt that way before, but if we go back to the part of ourself that really connects with our unique voice and our unique perspective, you start to realize that you really do have something different to offer, and there's no one that can take that away or block your path. So just go for it.
Yeah, about staying in your own lane. It's not comparing yourself to others in that sense of there's always that saying. People like to think that if somebody else becomes successful, it takes away from their possibility of being successful, when really it's just infinite. They think there's a finite opportunity that if somebody else becomes successful, that's less of an opportunity for them, when that's not how it works. It's along the lines of saying, if I have a cup of water and I have coffee, see, coffee's almost done, but I have plenty of water. Here's the thing: they're two different. They provide two different purposes. This is water I like to drink when I'm thirsty. This is coffee when I need a little more energy. And because coffee is successful, doesn't make water less successful. I still use water. I still use coffee. So I could still listen to an artist and I can listen to another artist.
And eventually you're going to pee and you could drink more. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Your audience is like that too.
And with that being said, we're going to kick over to Dave. We're going to see what's up with Dave. Dave, what's the good word?
some people drink their pee. So I just kind of
That's actually
combine all.
not recommended. They say you shouldn't do that. It'll actually
Okay.
cause more dehydration. I studied like,
Interesting.
yeah, no, I've studied because like I've done hiking, and they say, for hikers like get lost, like don't drink your pee. It's actually bad. So just kind of power through it. I don't know. Never tried it, and I've never peed on a jellyfish thing either. So.
Oh yeah, I mean that was a great Friends episode, but I wouldn't want to do it.
Right on. So we have pop music. I mean, a new docuseries. And Dave, what is pop music?
Pop
Pop
music,
quiz.
pop music is popular music, right? I mean that's just what pop stands for,
Mhm.
popular. So that's just a broad, is any genre, anything really.
So what did you? Yeah, I know this was an interesting article that they were talking about. It's like this docuseries. So what are your thoughts on it?
My thoughts are it's interesting because I think that pop music is kind of like aging out. Strange to say because I kind of really grew up as a fan of it. I really grew up as a fan of rock and metal, and those things aged out. So I've been watching this wrestling biographies on A&E. We should check those out. They're amazing. I watched one the other day on Booker T, one on Shawn Michaels, and I just was just so amazed at how old these guys are. And I don't remember them being old, but when you look at the clock and you say, "Holy shit, these dudes are almost in their 60s now." It's the same thing with pop music. When you think about pop music, popular music, when did it start? What, the late 1800s? Or popular music has always existed, but when did like it really, really start? When they came out with records, and then records could be sold and then distributed and traded, and then it became like, oh, do you have this, or you don't have that, you should have this, and it became that. But I feel like now, in the time that we exist in now, it's kind of fading away. So it's interesting that they're doing it's almost like, to me, it's almost like a retrospective on something that existed in a great golden age. When you think about hip hop, you think about the golden age of hip hop. When you think about wrestling, you think about the golden age of wrestling. When you think about comic books, you think about the golden age of comic books. Not to say that comic books don't exist, but you're never going to go back to the time when they were inventing Spider-Man and inventing the Hulk and inventing Captain America. Those times are over, and those people are dead. And I think the same thing about popular music. The internet is more important than any popular music could be, because whatever is current and popular is popular for everybody. For some music to be like on the charts, like we talked about before, you could be on the Billboard charts and it could be crickets. Nobody ever heard of you, but you could have a lot of money in the bank account and all that stuff is great, but it's not popular in a grand scheme like the Incredible Hulk is popular forever. And they made so many movies of it, but you couldn't tell me who's selling Incredible Hulk comic books now. It just doesn't exist. It's not the way that it was. And so popular music, for me to see that Netflix is doing this on popular music, to me it feels like it's a golden age stamp to say like, yep, Michael Jackson was great. Prince was great. And, Backstreet Boys are great. And, Led Zeppelin was great. And the Beatles are great. But that's over. And there is no more Beatles. And there won't be any more Beatles, because that's not what the emphasis is. If you want your grass to grow, you need to water your grass. If you want to have more Beatles, you need to water where the Beatles grow. And that stopped a long time ago, maybe a decade, at least 15 years ago. And, for rock music to be dead, metal to be, kind of what it is now, which is like a fractioned thing for like certain people. You have Hot Topics and you have Journeys, and that's all great, but that's in the mall. And there's nothing freaky and weird about the stuff that they sell in Journeys or Hot Topic. There's nothing that you're going to wear and people are going to be like, holy shit, man, that's so crazy. Where did you get that? And I say, well, I got it right next to, you know what I mean? It's like, you get it in the mall. It's over. When things start selling in the mall, it's a wrap. So I think it's just a wrap on pop music. As much as I loved it and I think it's great, it's over. And it's like, you're about to lose your job is probably more popular than whatever song is popular right now. It just is, because it has bigger trajectory. It goes everywhere. It goes on your Instagram and your Facebook and your TikTok and everything. And popular music, whatever that term means, it's, to me, it's Spider-Man. To me, it's wrestling. Like Hulk Hogan was great, but you couldn't really tell me who the top 5 wrestlers are right now. You just couldn't. And it's not that wrestling's not on TV. It still is, but it's just not what it once was. And so pop music, to me, feels like it's kind of golden age at this point. And I'm glad that we got to live it. And it's great. We all have our red leather jackets and it means a lot to us because we think Thriller. But to other people, they're like, oh, that's a cool red leather jacket. I have a blue one. Cool. Blue leather jackets, whatever that means. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about pop music.
I love that where, pop music is just popular music and it blurs the genres. I mean, if you look at like, if you take the pop charts, I mean, when did rap and hip hop become pop music? It's
In
like,
the 80s, mid
yeah,
80s.
and going into the 90s, like that heyday of hip hop. I mean, the early 90s, that hip hop era was amazing. The party music, there's so much great music, and it just became popular. So now it's like, well, what's that sound? It's defined by a sound. Did Max Martin produce it? It's a pop song. If it has these does it have auto tune? Well, it's a pop song if it has auto tune. It's defined, it's kind of like defined by like with the sound, and if it's played on the radio, and most of it's on a major label, and they get the radio play. But then it's like the blurring of the genres. I mean, when Adele came out, was Adele pop music? When Lorde came out, was she pop music? I mean, that was Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish is produced when she like started breaking through. That music was dark. That is not radio friendly music. That's not pop music, but it becomes popular and therefore changes what pop music is.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. Billie Eilish is maybe one of the more popular artists out now. But if you ask 10 people on the street if they know who Billie Eilish is, the percentage will be what it is. But if you ask them what a Karen is, they're gonna go off on you and say, "Hey, man, Karens. Oh man, anti-maskers." And they're just like those things are so much more popular than any Billie Eilish song that's gonna come out in the next 5 years.
So it's pop culture over pop music.
100%, 100%.
Yeah. So let's bring Aisha back in on this.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah.
Go.
No, I know what you're saying, and I think it's across all. I mean, it also feeds into film. I don't think we have the same Hollywood stars, big actors the way we used to, because everyone's watching a different thing. There's no, like you think about like pre-cable, you think about shows like MASH when everybody watched that show, like no one didn't watch it. I feel like the last really like water cooler TV show was maybe Game of Thrones, and everyone wants to find another one. But there's this fracturing of society because everyone's watching different places and things. So I think all of it is quite fragmented. However, yeah, there is some what I would call pop music, like, Bella Poarch just put out her song, and, a number of other TikTok people have just put out their songs. And yeah, it's totally pop. It's the pop sound. Not as good as Max Martin, though, but still a pop sound, and definitely not as good as Dr. Luke. But story for another day. But yeah, it is pop. It's just not as ubiquitous, and it doesn't have, so these people, that are coming up as these pop artists through, avenues like TikTok, yes, they have the huge followings. And so record labels are willing to look at that, or, people are willing to put money into that, and they have a reach. But to have like the big full out show, like a Madonna, like a Britney Spears, to carry a tour like that, to carry like, a massive audience like that with a full on, well produced show, I don't know if it's going to go there. I'm not sure about that. I think it might be a little bit more like when Paris Hilton released a song, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, instead of having a large like concert where you have to spend millions of dollars and hundreds of people and thousands of people to get the trailers to load out, to load into a stage, and you can make, millions on the concerts, on the tours, or you could be on TikTok and you write some music and you get a few million followers. Now, you're not going to be making that much money, but you can make a substantial living, and you become popular in pop culture, and you have music or Twitch streamers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not as grand, certainly, but it's definitely something that exists, and it's not as far-reaching. Like, the Duke is saying, And that's a little bit sad, I think. I think it's a little bit sad because I like the idea and the unifying nature among people to either love or hate these, large icons we've built up. And I definitely have an interest in that large icon building. That's
Well,
totally my jam.
is Jake Paul, is PewDiePie, Mr. Beast, are they pop? Are they pop? They're pop, and they're streamers, and they're content creators. And this is, I was talking about this, where the type of economies, there's always some type of economy that we're going through. It's the engagement economy. It's the attention economy. It's, I call it the attention disorder economy. It's the interruption economy. That's where all the ads, like everything's now ads being inserted. But now we're going to be talking about like this creator economy. And the creator economy takes out numerous middlemen, doesn't have to deal with labels. You can put something up and you look at, from a technology standpoint, you look at, say, cryptos, NFTs, all this decentralized areas that creators can generate revenue, make money, and they're getting talked about in media. I mean, there was an article that came across the wire this morning about yesterday in Huntington Beach. Some kid on TikTok said, I'm having a party at my birthday, and he said he had 40 likes, and then next thing you know, it's like millions of likes, and there's 2,500 people at Huntington Beach having a party for his birthday, and the cops end up throwing some tear gas in and shooting rubber bullets by midnight.
Adrian's kickback.
There you go.
Deal.
That's a party.
That is a party. But I did a reaction video to that, and I said, man, you need to figure out how to sell some tickets, Adrian. Because you got 2,500 people there all for free, man. Start charging. Make some real money.
And that's the creator economy right there. That's the mentality, that's the mindset that is coming up, that is saying, hey, we don't need to deal with all this stuff. I got a computer, I got a phone, I got all the stuff I need in my hand. $ Cash App.
Like I would say, like I was in the music industry, like strictly music industry for a long time, and I made some money, but like for me to do a remix or something like that in the music industry, to get $250 for a remix on a major commercial scale, not a low scale, but a commercial scale, was much harder. But Cyndi Lauper, she did her New Year's Eve thing, and I did a reaction video too. I made $250 for a 4-minute reaction video to somebody else singing badly, and it was the same finance. So it's like, why would I sit there and want to like try to make my way up the music industry when I can just make money on like a remix of like You About to Lose Your Job, or like Jake Paul knocks out whoever he's gonna knock out. Like I'll just remix that or something, so it's like it just doesn't make the same sense as it used to.
And the other is that the music industry, you talk about as a musician, as a writer, and you want your music to be played by other creators. You want to be able, so many of these, they're like, here, you're on Twitch, you're streaming, you're on YouTube, here, use my music. And then even the streamers that are like playing their own music are getting taken down, or DMCA strikes for playing their own music, because they're associated with the label. And the label has ownership of certain rights, and therefore it's not whitelisted. Now they're saying, well, I want to use the music. I created this piece of music. Hey, you know something? The idea of me, the idea of somebody becoming the superstar on stage will always be there. But more and more it's, hey, I have some music. Let me put this out there. Hey, you want to go play it? Go use it. Go share this. Please remix it. Do something with it. I have it. Okay, I have it on Spotify, but I own it. I have it through distribution through, say, DistroKid. And I'll tell DistroKid, whitelist it for everything. Let anybody play this. If it's on Twitch, fine. I'm glad it's on Twitch, because my whole attention is not about how much money can I make from a Spotify stream and then go complain about it. I'm not going to sit here and complain that, hey, Spotify only pays 0.0036 or whatever, and Spotify is ripping everybody off. Here's the deal. They're all looking at this saying, well, that's a shitty deal, so I'm going to put it up there so people can listen. But I'm doing all this other stuff. And that's where it's like the old musician mindset of saying, I write a song, I write a few songs, I mix it, I master it, I press it, whatever. If they want to put it out on physical, they put it up on Bandcamp, they put it up on Spotify. Oh, I got to make a video for it. I'm going to spend all this time, spend money, I'm going to shoot this video. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier, almost kind of in a different sense, is like the fact that if somebody becomes popular and becomes successful doesn't take away from your success. But what's happening is those people that are doing all different types of content and incorporating their music and incorporating their video skills and incorporating all that, they're the ones that are eating your lunch. They're the ones taking your cheese. They are doing that. That doesn't stop you from becoming successful, okay? But the opportunity there, that like what Dave said, it's like I did this in 4 minutes, you know, and Dave writes music, still does remixes, still does productions. So it's not like, hey, I got out of music. You can still do so much more and have content, and you're creators. As a creator, you have so many opportunities, and the ecosystems are built in your favor. The fact that there's an ecosystem on Twitch that people can tip you, that you can just align your account, here, go ping my bank account. I can become an affiliate, I can become a partner, and I can build my community. It's like, great, ping me, tip me, subscribe to me. That ecosystem is built in. You don't have to rely on everything else. Granted, not all the terms are the most favorable terms. That's going to be life. But the fact that you can go and do so much more, instead of saying like, you know, I hear artists like, oh, I'm working on the video and it's going to be a month. I'm like, that's a month to work on a video? You know something? Talk to Dave. Dave will have you making a video in 15 minutes and putting it up there.
Sure.
But I do think there's a place for both. Like I have things that are my like, you know, shitty, like, you know, recorded on my phone in my living room. And then I have my high end, you know, music video that's also a short film that's going to film festivals and will come out when it's done with that. But, you know, it's a variety of tiers of content, you know, and some of it is the fancy stuff. And, you know, because also as artists, we have things where we're like, we want to do the fancy stuff, but you can't sustain that all the time, and certainly not with what the market really demands of you. So, yeah, break out that phone.
Yeah, I mean, you look at like there's YouTubers out there that are cranking out content every week. And then you have like the Mark Robers, who creates one video a month. But that video is so well done. It is like watching a short form film. It's watching a short. It's watching like an episode. Like you look forward to the next episode of what he's doing. And that is, you know, he's cashed in on that because of that type of format. Great. But he's built that following by starting with shorter pieces. That's why on YouTube, shorts are great. That's why, you know, Instagram, shorter. TikTok, there's your case. TikTok, shorts are awesome. Snapchat, where it started. Shorts are awesome. Actually, that's not where it started. Vine.
7 seconds.
Yep.
That was big.
So wrapping this up, go on, Dave.
No, I was just gonna Bob Dylan, man. You know, the times they are changing. You gotta know how to double dip. I tell people this sometimes, and I'll wrap it up with this. I tell people, you know, I told this to one cat one time, and I said, man, you gotta double dip. He's like, what are you talking about? He's an Italian dude. What are you talking about double dip? And I said, listen, man, you can have one piece of content, but you can dip it in so many different places that it makes money many, 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 many times. And that kind of goes back to what you were saying before about making a song. You know, here's my song. Take my song, put it all over the place so I can make little bits of money all over the place. Let me make a music video. Let me shoot it quick. Let me make it here. Let me also make that same music video, but make it bigger. And you can just double and dip all your content and make money. Or you can sit back and go like, I'm going to work on this for the next 6 months. I'm going to make a magical mystery tour. And you can do that, but the economy, it doesn't exist for you anymore. This is not 1968. It doesn't exist. So you need to either live in 2022 or live in 1962. But the choice is yours.
The Magical Mystery Tour is hoping to take you away.
We're gone, and that's it. We out of here.
Right on. Aisha, final thoughts.
I'm here for the Magical Mystery Tour. That's what I want. Yeah, let's take that tour. But, you know, seriously, all these things that we're talking about, you know, because some of this content is so temporary and you're doing it quickly and you're spraying it out on all these avenues, you can take risks, and just to go out there and take some risks this week and next week and all year long. So you go do that.
Go out and just do stuff.
Yeah,
if you want to do something, you say, hey, I want to start posting stuff on YouTube, but you're afraid that it's like, well, it's not going to be good enough. Well, you're never going to get good enough unless you go do it. So go do it. And that's all I'm going to say on that. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And, we're going to be doing this every week, and also the News Power Hour every Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. We do that live stream. We're in the Clubhouse. Make sure to hit up musicindustrycity.com. There's a lot going on. We got some networking events, a whole bunch of great things. Make sure you register there. And once again, I want to thank my co-host, Aisha, and the Duke. We'll see you next time.